What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Quest Heroes! Alright, I feel like now is a pretty good time to recap everybody on my stats and equipment right now. So I've done a little bit of level grinding. Some characters are still pretty under-leveled, as you can see here. Lucius and Kira below level 20. Isla's at level 20, which is kind of where I like her. King Doric I'm probably never going to use again. But yeah, you can kind of see the stats and equipment and how they compare to each other. Jessica does not have a lot of health. I think they'll be fine. She's honestly pretty durable, all things considered. Yeah, our stats, though, pretty much outrank everyone else's. So, I wanted to show off a couple of side quests I wanted to turn in because I wanted to see you guys... I wanted to show off getting the rewards on screen. So, if we turn in this side quest... I'll show you what we get here in a second.
Well done.
We get an alternate costume for Aurora, and there's also one just like it where we can get the alternate costume for Lucius as well. So these alternate costumes are very basic. They're just color swaps, which I'll be showing off. But there are better costumes available later. So here, this one we got an increase to our maximum equipment we can hold, which is not nearly as necessary as increasing our maximum loot, but it increases it by 100, and I'm like, do you really think we're going to have that many like redundant weapons and shields and things like that? Because all the obsolete stuff we just sell off as soon as we have better stuff, so there's really no reason to expand it quite that much. Anyway, let's go ahead and show off that. Oh, looks like I've got some stuff to sell. Okay, so here on the equipment screen we can go ahead and change the costume. So now Aurora is blue, which is pretty underwhelming. And the Lucius one, it just makes him go from blue to red, so you can essentially just swap their colors. I made a joke about this because I'm going to be cosplaying Lucius this year, and I realized his outfit is blue, and I have this obnoxious trend of cosplaying characters with red outfits. I've done like 5 different characters that wear red, and I was making the joke with Michelle. I was like, what if I were to cosplay the color swapped version of Lucius so I could still wear red? And I'm like, of course I wouldn't do that. This is hashtag blue cosplay 2018 because Lucius, Ku from Fate Extra, Fate Extella rather, with the fluffy jacket, and then Hector from Fire Emblem Blazing Sword. So we're going to go on a brief side quest here, a very, very important one. Arguably this is part of the main quest. We're going to go back over here and see Gragsword again, the guy that taught us how to zoom. We've not done a whole lot of zooming since we talked to him, actually. I said we'd be doing it quite a lot, and we haven't really had the opportunity to yet. But we will pretty soon. So essentially what he's going to be showing us how to do is he's going to be giving us the opportunity to upgrade our coup de grace to do more damage. So he's going to increase our maximum tension gauge and the amount of damage we deal with coup de grace. So he's going to give us a brief tutorial of that. I am showing this on screen just so you guys can see the difference in how much damage we do. So he's going to throw us into an arena here with a bunch of really tough enemies, including this great saber cat and this troll, which is a lot for us to handle on our own, but we should be fine. So we just need to get our tension charged up, so we just need to kill as many enemies as possible. We could run away and manually charge it by holding down the circle button if we wanted to.
What, you're looking at me like that for? You do know how to build up tension, don't you?
I should be able to take this guy, even without any allies to back me up here. I definitely want to avoid that Haxorus if I can. Yeah, there we go. We beat the Great Saber Cat. We're just under halfway up to high tension. Yeah, the higher your hit combo goes, the more tension you will gain. So, grouping in a bunch of small enemies together in a big AoE like that is really good for that. Speaking of which, holy crap, that's a lot of hits. 440 hits we delivered there just by using Cold Fission on all those skeletons that spawned in. And we defeated that Maw-Keeper pretty swiftly, too. So, you may notice I held off on uploading any videos until the end of the weekend. And the reason for that is because Awesome Games Done Quick was happening this week, and not only was I busy watching Awesome Games Done Quick, but I knew that nobody would be watching my videos or anyone else's videos for that matter when that's going on. And frankly, I can't even condone it. Like, I don't... do not watch my videos or anybody else's. Watch Games Done Quick. It's for a good cause. It's for charity, cancer prevention, and the things you'll see on there are absolutely incredible. Such as... there was finally a Dragon Quest speed run this year at Awesome Games Done Quick. It was of Dragon Warrior 1, the original, the English localized version. Alright, that's a lot more damage. So before we were dealing like 300-400 damage. Now we dealt like 800, 900 damage with our coup de grace, so you can definitely see the difference there. So we have a new enemy type here, which is a Trailblazer. So I'm gonna make a Gundam 00 reference, of course, and it is just a more powered version of the killer, the hunter mech things, or the killing machine. It's just a bigger, more powerful version of that. Which, yeah, we totally needed one of those, right? Same exact attack pattern, so we have that annoying crossbow we have to worry about. We have the his own version of Frost Slash we have to worry about. His normal sword slashes, and his spinning sword attack. So very, very dangerous enemy. But I'm essentially just going to be running around the map trying to increase my tension by defeating these weaker enemies, and not focusing directly on the Trailblazer quite yet. And then I will unleash my high tension against the Trailblazer and my super-powered coup de grace. I'm going to wait until he charges his attack. There we go. So, thankfully, he does telegraph that crossbow pretty easily. Dodging and blocking are very important in this game, more so than I give them credit for, really. And I continue to buy new shields for the Knight-type characters, but I really don't use them for their intended purpose, because shields don't really give you an increase in defense necessarily in this game, so much as they give you a sort of like a blocking check whenever you there's that Frost Slash there, sort of a blocking check whenever you use the block command to block an attack. They give you greater effectiveness when you perform that block. So that's really what they're used for, and I don't really use the block command nearly as much as I could, or as I should, really, in this game. I guess it's just sort of a personal discipline type thing, and the gameplay just flows so much more different in this game compared to the other Musou games where I do use the block. That being said, the enemy animations are designed so well, and the combat just flows so well. You can tell when a big enemy is telegraphing an attack, unless it's just like, you know, a ground pound attack that you can't possibly dodge, like that, or it's something with a really awkward or stiff animation, like that Stone Guardian boss we fought in the previous episode. Yeah, that thing was... There's really no way to block the attacks that thing has, because they happen so suddenly and so stiff. Okay, so now we have our high tension, we're going to go up and use some Frost Slashes, which are actually dealing negligible damage. This thing will only take 1 damage from everything except for the coup de grace, so it's very important that we take advantage of that. Rather, it's forcing us to do it their way and kill this thing the intended way. And I'm not sure if that 827 damage is actually how much damage was required to beat this thing, or if the battle just automatically ends when you use your coup de grace against it. I'm really not sure, but oh well. This is pretty powerful.
Alright, all done. You're not as green as you are cabbage looking, you.
Got some decent experience for that, and now we have even higher tension and more powerful coup de grace. And this is true across every character, so we're going to see that damage really increase going forward here. And that's going to become super important now that I've established how the difficulty keeps gradually scaling with us as we go through the game.
Yeah?
Alright, so really quick, I'm going to adjust my setup after my level grinding that I did and bring in the characters that I'm going to be using for the next main story quest. So, as you can see, I had Lucius, Kirill, and Isla to give them some more levels and get them kind of caught up, which worked out pretty well. King Doric gained a little bit of experience off-screen and is at level 18 now, but we don't care because we're never going to use him, so we're going to bring in the characters I do care about. So we're going to bring in Jessica, Terry, and Nara for this one. So basically Terry and his harem of ladies. They don't want him. He's too much of a jackass. We like Terry though, he's useful. Alright, so we're back at the Yggdrasil tree. So now we're up close to the top of the tree. We're going to be running into some new and interesting enemy types in this episode. So right off the bat here, we're already surrounded, including a troll and a king slime as well. And as we established, the king slimes are not terribly dangerous, but they have some interesting abilities that can really complicate matters for us. So I switched to Nara to go ahead and cast Oomph on us, which is going to give us a significant attack increase. That combined with Terry's Falcon Slash to give him the after images is really going to make him absolutely just devastating against these guys. So again, we have 2 trolls and a king slime, and I should be able to take out this troll right away. At least the king slime does not have healing abilities, because that would be really aggravating. There we go. That's a lot of damage from Gust Slash, so I think that's pretty effective with Oomph there. Just the repetitive strikes with it. So, I was talking earlier about the, again, the reason why we have Jessica along is because of the healing, of course. Nara can't really replace her, so basically it's just Aurora because we have to, Terry to deal really all of our DPS, and then Nara's for buffs and Jessica's for healing is essentially my thought process here. So I usually like to have Terry and Elena, but in this situation I would have one or the other, and I really just want to show off how awesome the Oomph spell can be and how useful Nara can be in the right situations.
Lightning storm.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Alright. Got rid of that annoying Slaviticus enemy thing there. I hate those things. There's a particular side story later on in which we encounter those. It is especially annoying. So there's a lot of monster tokens lying around. Thankfully I didn't pick up too many of them, so I can go ahead and get I can go ahead and equip the King Slime one when we'll be able to show that off. You can kind of tell these regular slimes that are hanging around here, you can kind of tell what those are for, that they're eventually going to form into a King Slime if we don't stop them. So there's 3 Maw Keepers that have spawned in here, and these guys are really aggravating because they're these flying enemies, which I think they're gargoyles. I can't remember exactly what type of enemy they are, but hitting them is really obnoxious. We can hit them with some of Jessica's attacks, and with our ranged attacks, like I'm going to use the Crack spell there as a way to demonstrate that. I'm pretty sure I also have Crackle, but I'm not 100% sure, and it would take a little while to charge up as well. So Jessica's Whip is really one of the best means of reaching them. But getting those 2 up there is one of the most challenging parts of this level, is getting all the way up to those platforms successfully without falling off, and then fighting them on a narrow space once you're up there. It can be quite frustrating. More slime starting to form. Ooh. So 2 killing machines just spawned in. See if we can get up there and get rid of those guys. I'm not worried about the killing machines right now because they won't be a problem, trust me. But the Maw Keepers, I definitely want to get rid of them because they are being quite a pest and spawning in a lot of basic enemies. Wow, really? I'm up here and then Gust Slash just lands on the ground. Oomph spell going on right now, which will give some extra DPS. And now that I'm up here, the Maw Keeper wants to go down there. How frustrating. Another Maw Keeper has spawned at the edge of the map there on the crown. I may just have to use Jessica's coup de grace to just go ahead and finish them off.
We've got to do something. Something about Yggdrasil reminds me of a certain mysterious tree like yourselves.
Nice, over 1,000 damage. Good job, Jessica.
That's like comparing a bleeding great oak tree to a poplar.
What's that you say? Something about you being a bleeding great oak with no location. I understand.
So I was talking about the Dragon Warrior 1 speedrun that was at Awesome Games Done Quick, and posted that in the Dragon Quest group, which again, I love the Dragon Quest group. You guys are some of the best fandom out there. But somebody wanted to argue with me whether or not it was cheating, because they're like, how much grinding did he have to do? And I said, well, he didn't do any. He just took advantage of the RNG, the random number generator, to figure out what encounter he would get on which tile, and exploited that knowledge to avoid a lot of encounters. And he exploited that in order to always get a critical against certain enemies that he had to kill, including the final boss. And then, you know, some people called that cheating, and I'm like, it's not cheating. There's no external interference with the game whatsoever. It's only just memorizing. It's numbers. You can do that at home if you so chose. Oh dear, what's happening now?
Bear witness to my might.
I know that face. I'd recognize him anywhere. Come back here, you fool!
Who in heaven?
He's gone. So those of you that have played Dragon Quest IV know who that is. And he's actually a secret character we can unlock in this game, but we won't be talking about that until much, much later. But he showed up and killed the killing machine up in the far corner there and then left. We didn't actually get a chance to see him in the encounter, which I don't think I've actually seen him in my three different runs through the game. He's there. Anyway, so the Dragon Warrior speedrun, I said, yeah, it's not cheating because there's no external influence on the game. It's just counting. You can do that at home. And they said, well, you know, I consider manipulating RNG cheating. And I'm like, manipulating is not the right term because you're not changing anything in the programming of the game. You are just playing the game, and you just happen to know more information than what the developers wanted you to know about certain encounters. And frankly, I think that as far as Dragon Quest speedruns go, that's probably the only one we're going to see. It was really incredible. It was done in about a half an hour. I hope you guys can catch it on YouTube when they finally upload it, if you'd missed it at GDQ. But it was definitely incredible. And I don't think we'll be seeing any other Dragon Quest speedruns there, just because none of the other games are nearly as short or as simple with the programming. The rest of them are very, very long. So if we did see any other Dragon Quest speedruns, they'd be several hours long. But who knows? There might be a way to optimize the speedrun of Dragon Quest you know, maybe 1 through 6. I don't think 7 onward would be possible for a speed run there. This is a demonstration of Jessica's hustle dance when we actually cast it from our own perspective while we're playing as her. That's our healing move. We had to use that there because we got poisoned and I didn't want to run out of health while playing as her, because then we would have lost our healer. Not that I couldn't just bring her back with an Yggdrasil leaf, but don't want to have to do that. There we go, she's using it again. It always heals us for a pretty decent amount. I'm always pretty surprised. Yeah, these zombie enemies right here can poison you, so definitely look out for that.
Fine by me.
This is a very long and challenging encounter, but I think we're almost at the end. So, yeah, sure enough, here comes the last wave. So this Maulkeeper is going to spawn in a brand new enemy type called a Hell Gladiator. And these guys are extremely tough and can deal a crap ton of damage. As you can see there, he took out half of Jessica's health with one attack. So we're definitely going to buff up using Oomph, and we're going to unleash our monster minions on this guy. So Alfred, the King Slime, is going to try to attack him over there. And I don't know, I don't know how successful he's going to be. What does it say? Alfred the... I can't read it. Anyway. The Gurist? Alfred the Gurist? Yeah, something like that. It's a slime pun, of course. Yeah, so this guy is incredibly dangerous. He has a lot of powerful physical attacks. He reminds me of Gilgamesh from the Final Fantasy series, or like an Ashura type enemy, which I guess makes sense. That's probably what he's based on, you know, a four-armed enemy with different weapon types. I mean, he's got a sword, an axe, a mace, and then something else, I think. Yeah, thankfully he just has all physical attacks, and we can have another enemy aggro him and then hit him in the back with Terry and his Falcon Slash. Looks like he's stunned right there from being maybe frozen by one of Aurora's moves. Hard to say. He does have a lot of health though. So these guys combined with like the Haxoruses are definitely going to be our biggest adversary for the next couple of chapters. I don't think I need to use Aurora's coup de grace to finish this guy off. He's pretty low on health now. We managed to do a dodge roll there underneath his sword slashes. Oh, it looks like he does have a range attack, so he has his own ice attack that he can use there, which, as you can see, is pretty dangerous because it can impair our movements, which in turn allows him to hit us easier with his physical attacks. And yeah, he's got two swords, a mace, and an axe. Come on, hurry up and die! This thing is so tanky. Fully charged Blizzard Slash, over 100 damage per hit. There we go. Man, those guys are tough. Terry's just going to town on another zombie guy over there. That should be everything.
As long as we win, that's all that matters.